Boo, what's up? Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of SimplyPodLogical, a simply nailogical podcast.
Ooh, scary edition.
Today's very spooky episode is brought to you by Shopify. Thank you, Shopify. More on that later. Cristine, today we just want to scare ourselves.
We do?
Prank wars.
Prank? What? Why? What are you pranking me?
No, we're going to do a spooky themed Am I the Asshole episode.
Yes.
Your favorite Halloween, candy, spooky, scary prank theme.
Yes, it's the Taco Tuesday before Halloween, so that's why we're doing this now, because if we did it next week, it would be November 1st, and, Halloween's over at that point.
Yeah, that's when you just go to the grocery store and you get the discount candy.
Yeah.
Although, the past few years, this hasn't really worked.
Wow.
I feel like it used to be the case. You would wait till the day after Halloween, go to the grocery store, and buy all the candy that was like 50% off. Last couple years I've gone and the candy's just been not
They're
there.
all out of stock. Well, that's probably like supply chain reasons.
Or maybe it's like, yeah, it's probably supply chain.
Definitely supply chain.
Or they know that people do this and they just decided we're just going to take it off the shelves.
Okay, but then what are they doing with it? That doesn't make sense. I don't believe that's the
Maybe
case.
they would rather not sell it than reinforce the idea that people can get it for half off.
So they'll just have all those losses?
Yes.
I don't think so, man. I mean, that's
business.
That's one conspiracy, but I'm inclined to think it's very unlikely.
Cristine, they can just write it off.
Oh, right.
You can just write it off.
If you just write it off, it's free. Yeah, that's how that works.
Yeah. All right, let's get right into it. First one, Cristine. Am I the asshole for making my son pass out the candy he got from trick-or-treating because he was being rude? My son is 9 years old. We went trick-or-treating like we usually do. The night was going well, except that when he got to a house that had a bowl of candy sitting on the porch, it said, "Take 2, please."
Uh-oh.
He put his whole hand in there and grabbed about 6 pieces. Of course,
no.
I corrected him and I made him put 4 back, explaining he needed to leave some for others, but then he had an attitude. And the last straw was when I told him to stop grabbing so much candy from people, he screamed no. We'd only been out for about an hour, so I took him right home. He took his candy bag, dumped it in a bowl, and told him to come sit outside on the porch with me. He objected, but as kids came by and took handfuls of his candy, he complained they were taking too much, and I told him that he shouldn't have done the same. His father came home from work, asked why he was in his room crying, to which I explained why. He said it was really cruel to give away the kids' candy just because he was taking a little too much. I said he needs to learn to not be so greedy, to which my husband said, "It's okay, it's Halloween." Yeah, the whole point of Halloween is being greedy.
Yeah, but if that's harming others, you're taking away their joy.
Okay, let me finish. He said I was being a jerk and that I should cut some slack for the one holiday that kids get to pig out. I don't agree, although I figured I could have done this differently. Am I the asshole? And then there's an edit. No, I did not give away the entire bowl. Even if I had, I would have had no problem providing him more once he learned his lesson and apologized.
I mean, this just comes down to how you want to parent your child and teach them lessons when they do something that's kind of mean. Right. That's all this is.
Yeah, I don't oppose. Yeah, there should have been some sort of parental response to your kid taking more candy than they were entitled to, right?
Yeah.
And I actually think it's kind of clever that the punishment was making them give away their candy to children. Although I could see why some people would think that's a little excessively, I don't know, cruel is too strong a word. But that would be do you remember what it was like to get candy on Halloween? It was a big deal.
Yes. This reminds me of, I can't remember who told us this story, or maybe I just saw it online, but there was a parent who said that they implemented a tax on their children, that when their kids started to get money for birthdays or start working, I guess, at a very young age, they would take a tax from them just to kind of teach them about the basics of tax, because they were provided a home to live in. And I don't think the parent was doing it just to get money from their kid. I think they were doing it as a part of a lesson. And if I recall correctly, they were going to give them back all that quote unquote tax once they were ready to move out, so they could have that as their own kind of.
But sorry, they were teaching them what income tax was based on their Halloween candy. We're just going to take 30% of all your candy.
Kind of, and I think they were teaching them. I think that was part of their goal, but also to be responsible and to understand the consequences of things. And I kind of think that's maybe what the
Mom's
poster was
doing
trying
here,
to do.
yeah.
Like the consequence of you taking other people's candy is like they won't have any.
Yeah,
So
but if this-
now how do you feel when your candy is being given to other people to be more equally distributed?
But
and you
if
get
this is
upset?
like an economics lesson and the candy is just like symbolic of money or assets, they should have just thrown the kid in like jail, some sort of like white collar crime process.
But okay. But like
Not
okay,
just-
but that's just for punishment and deterrence, I guess, is your argument. But it doesn't teach them anything about the equality of distribution of the candy, which was the reason why the sign said "Take two, please" in the first place.
Yeah, you know what? I think Halloween is kind of an opportunity to teach your children about communism or socialism. Don't you think?
Did we have this conversation last year? I feel like we did.
Well, I think there's something a little strange about Halloween's one of like I think one of the earliest periods in a kid's life where they might learn to think of stuff as theirs. Like maybe these kids aren't even getting like an allowance or anything yet, but they're going around
like,
and
"This
getting
is
candy
mine."
that's like this is my property, right?
Yeah.
And really, what you're getting on Halloween is the redistribution of community wealth in the form of candy. It really is the community's candy. It's just being distributed, just to children out
Yeah.
of the kindness of your
And
neighbor's
because
hearts.
you're getting it for free and it's a handout, you should be fair and not be greedy because it's
Yeah.
a disservice to your community if you go and take all six.
But wouldn't it be a healthier mindset if we just thought of all this Halloween candy as really just like a community asset and not really any one child's asset?
Yeah, but children are babies and they will scream and say, "It's mine!"
Yeah.
And they will think of it as theirs, which means they have not learned the lesson of community property.
All right, so I do not think
This is why we are not parents. Menchie, this table is community property. Stop licking yourself on it.
All right, I don't think this one's so bad. I don't have a super strong opinion about it. I think the punishment's probably fine. As long as, like, I don't think it was too harsh, especially if the kid did end up with some candy at the end of the day.
Yeah, I'm indifferent and I'm not going to judge someone's parenting unless it's like really extreme.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Being indifferent's good on a podcast where we're debating.
Okay, well, like I just feel like people who have 9-year-olds are going to have totally different opinions than us who are like, but equality. And it's like, well, it doesn't work that way when there's a screaming 9-year-old.
But we can judge. Like, a kid that goes around that takes too much candy out of the bowl when someone just leaves a bowl.
Is an asshole.
Yeah.
Your
That
kid is an
child.
asshole.
Okay.
Except I would never say that to your kid, but I would think it. You know what I mean?
Okay, well, at least we agree on that. Next one. Am I the asshole for scaring my sister-in-law with a cardboard cutout of The Rock? So I'm a 32-year-old lady with a 43-year-old sister-in-law who is super nosy. It's come up before, but she's one of those people who will just deny something no matter how much proof you have and then get angry at you for not believing her. At my house, the guest bathroom is partially shared with the master bathroom, which basically means you can get into our bedroom through the bathroom without going through the main bedroom door. When she comes over, she would sometimes take a bit too long in the bathroom, and during like the third or fourth time I happened to be walking by the bathroom and heard 2 doors closed, I asked her if she was looking for something in our bedroom, and if I could help her find it. She replied with, "No, why would I go in your bedroom?" and then changed the subject. So the next time she was going to come over, I set something small behind the bedroom door, just so I could see if it had been opened by the small item being pushed back. Later, I could see that it had been. So for me, this confirmed that she'd been snooping again. I asked directly if she'd been in our bedroom. She said something like, "I don't care what's in your bedroom. Get over yourself." So yesterday, sister-in-law and brother-in-law came over. But before that, I ordered a full-sized cutout of Dwayne Johnson, which I placed in our bedroom facing the door. About an hour into the
Why?
visit, she heads into the bathroom, and very shortly after, there's a scream, a thud, and a door slam. She came out clearly angry. She'd been quite startled and slammed her arm into the doorframe while turning away from the cutout. The brother-in-law made it worse by asking why she was even in the bedroom. She didn't answer and they left. She posted on Facebook that she had a big bruise on her arm as a result of my nasty prank. People are saying she could have been hurt worse and that she's too old to be the victim of a childish prank. I feel bad that she was hurt. It wasn't my intention, but I might be the asshole because I think it was hilarious. It is. I mean, it is hilarious. She might be too old for these pranks. You might be too old for these pranks, but she's too old to be snooping around in her sister-in-law's room.
What is she looking for?
I don't know. Some people
Like, what's going
Some
on?
people have no sense of boundaries.
Okay, well, I stop letting those people over. Like,
Yeah, cut off all.
banish those people.
Have no relationship with your brother and sister-in-law.
But like, yeah, I mean, this is kind of funny in the way that she got exposed for snooping in the bathroom was because she screamed.
Yeah,
at
this
the
seems like
cutout.
one of the few like justifiable. I can prank someone
Obviously,
or scare
her getting
someone.
hurt is not justifiable, but her getting spooked by the Rock.
Well, your prank could just be like, I just like having a giant cutout of
Yeah.
Dwayne the Rock Johnson in my bedroom.
So
It's
why'd you go in there? Your fault for going
in there.
in my
Yeah.
bedroom that I'd already asked you to stop going in.
If you were trying to scare somebody with a cutout of a life-size cardboard cutout of any celebrity, who would you want to scare someone with?
I don't know. Dua Lipa?
Dua Lipa?
That wouldn't scare you. You'd be like, yes! Oh, I scared Menchie. Sorry,
Yeah.
Menchie.
Maybe like Pee Wee Herman,
What?
James Charles,
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Dua Lipa. I like that.
I don't know.
A husband and a brother-in-law went into my bedroom with cardboard cutout of Dua Lipa and didn't come back. Yeah, not the asshole. This is funny. Sounds kind of fake.
Your sister-in-law's the asshole
Yeah, clearly.
for going in your room.
Actually, let's return to your question. What is sister-in-law looking
what
for
are
in
you
the bedroom?
doing?
What do people think they're finding in bedrooms?
I don't know. I mean, like, I've known Snoopy people in my life who
Mm-hmm.
I don't think were looking for any one thing in particular. They're just like that. They're just like, want to know everything. And it can feel very invasive and off putting if you're the person being snooped on. And it makes you have a feeling of distrust kind of almost for the rest of your life unless that person changes their ways. So
There's
it's
not
a good relationship.
necessarily even like some practical intention or anything specific. It's more about just wanting to.
To know everything.
It's a bit of a power move.
Yeah, it's a
sort of.
power move. It's like, I don't know, an insecurity about your own life. You're just trying to figure something out or trying to get something on someone else just to see if there is something, even though you may not have a real reason for something. Or maybe you're upset at someone because they gained something in life that you didn't, and you're trying to find like, okay, well, I'm looking for some kind of receipts, but I just don't know what they are yet because I want to prove to myself that this person isn't as great as they
What are you even gonna
suggest.
find in a bedroom though?
I don't really know. Like someone's like a bill or I don't know.
Okay.
Like I don't know. We don't know anything about
If
their
someone was
relationship.
snooping in our bedroom, like I'm just like they would see underwear. They would. you know,
Menchier.
the
Lots of
laundry
Menchier.
I haven't
Xyler.
folded.
Xyler would probably be there on the bed. They would find a
They
Xyler.
would find Xyler. All right, next one. Am I the asshole for telling my brother to stop purposely giving himself nightmares and then not letting him in my room when he was scared? I'm a 24-year-old guy currently living with my younger 18-year-old brother who just started college. My brother sometimes gets nightmares and sleep paralysis. So he wakes up during the night shaking, crying, and hyperventilating. Most days like that, he comes into my room and asks if he can sleep on the extra bed I have. I always say yes, but it's tiring when he wakes me up because it usually takes me a long time to fall asleep after, and I always work early. I don't mind this because I want to be a good brother. I thought this nightmare thing was psychological. He was going on some type of therapy, so I thought it was going to get better. A few days ago, I knocked on his door. When he didn't answer, I opened it, and he was watching a horror movie. I asked what it was, and he was even excited telling me, and I looked at him like he was dumb. I asked if he was serious, and it blew up into an argument where he was telling me the movies don't give him nightmares. I don't believe that. At one point, I said, I'm tired of you waking me up, and if you're going to act tough, then stop crying to me when you get scared. He had another nightmare after that, and when he came to my room, I told him to leave, and he can't sleep there since he needs to accept the consequences of his actions. He's mad at me, and my parents are telling me I was cruel. I don't think I was. Am I the asshole? All right, so disclaimer, we have no idea why brother is experiencing these symptoms of night terrors or anxiety, or if that's actually coming from...
And I think you can't assume it is a movie.
No, I
Yeah.
don't think you can. I can at least partly understand the brother's frustration, though, if your life is being hugely inconvenienced by your brother getting severe nightmares. And, like, it is possible watching horror movies are contributing to this, is it not?
Yeah, but it's not the older brother's responsibility to diagnose what is giving his younger brother nightmares. I
No.
understand, like, it doesn't look good if you're like, okay, well, why are you subjecting yourself to things that would give most people nightmares?
Terrifying.
But,
Yeah.
like, I guess there's another piece of this puzzle we don't know, which is the younger brother seeking some kind of therapy for, like, what is causing those nightmares to try
Sure.
and reduce them.
And I guess we don't know if that's really happening or not. Or we at least know younger brothers expressing that it's not because of the movies. I guess so. Reddit decided older brother was the asshole in this case, which is interesting.
For telling him.
For being dismissive and making his brother
Yeah.
leave and not comforting him. But part of me wonders, like, it's not tenable that this guy will go through life being able to just like come
Go in
into his older brother's room every time he
Yeah.
has a scary night, right? Maybe I'm just ignorant of what it means to like have severe nightmares and sleep paralysis. Like that sounds awful, but like I don't think the solution is always having your brother there and waking him up in the middle of the night.
Yeah, because it's kind of like expecting your brother to be your caretaker. And especially at this age, 24 and 18. And I think it says the 18-year-old had just started college. Like, I don't think the 20-year-old basically like signed up to basically be a nightmare caretaker. And, you know, you could understand that that person was frustrated with that situation, which he isn't really saying so much as here. He's talking about a specific situation, but if you read between the lines, like if you were in that position, it would probably be frustrating for you to deal
So
with that.
maybe he's being a jerk in his reaction to just knowing his
Yeah.
younger brother's watching a horror movie, and maybe that has nothing to do with it. But I have to think there's a more long-term, meaningful solution here or treatment plan for younger brother that doesn't involve making the older brother resent you.
I understand his frustration, but his response was poor when he
Yes.
said, I'm tired of you waking me up, and if you're going to act tough, then stop crying. Like, that was a very weak
That sucks,
response.
yeah.
He should approach his younger brother with compassion to get him help. And if he's unable to help, then that's okay, because, you know, he's just a 24-year-old brother. But he should, like, ask him what kind of support he needs beyond him. Maybe talking to a professional. And that's usually the answer when it's something that's just like beyond your area of expertise. Like if you don't know this and there are experts who do, then you kind of have to open that possibility.
Sounds like a reasonable take. Next one, am I the asshole for telling my husband that if he wants to make a huge deal out of Halloween, he has to foot the bill? We're both 32, married for 3 years. We finally just bought a house in Denver, meaning expensive. On top of that, we're making some minor updates, so money is tight. My husband, Pete, is one of those people who has to be the cool house on Halloween, giving out full-size candy bars, being cool and in the know and giving parents beer or something, over-the-top decorations, etc., etc. I'm not against decorating or giving out candy. I love seeing kids in costumes, but I'm just not into all the excessive spending and the whole meme of spooky season. I think $50 for a few bags of candy and some cobwebs and spiders and maybe a pumpkin or two are fine. However, Pete wants to go all out. He wants to get a huge skeleton, hundreds of full-size bars, cases of beer, and he got frustrated that I had no interest. And then I finally told him, if you want to do all of this, you can do it all of your own fun personal budget for the month. We have more important things to do than save our joint money for right now. He got upset because he doesn't have the money he would need since he already spent the majority of it on video games. I said we can do something bigger next year if he really needed to prove himself. Plus, we have no way of knowing how into the whole song and dance people get in this neighborhood. The last thing we need is a ton of candy bars sitting around. I'm already barely squeezing into my jeans. Weird note to end on.
What?
Yeah, I guess we don't even need to make this necessarily just about like Halloween things, but this could be about holidays in general. If one person in a relationship's super into it and the other is not, yeah,
You can't use joint money.
you can't
just
expect
can't.
both people to equally
No.
share. You would like to think that, part of being in a relationship is probably sharing some of these interests in common, and that
Yeah.
sort of helps navigate these situations usually. But yeah, so with Homeboy here being super into Halloween, also I find it pretty obnoxious that it's also about giving out beer to the neighbors. Like,
Or maybe it was just for his buddies. We don't really know.
look, I understand, like, there's a way of kind of going all out for Halloween that doesn't require you spending like thousands of dollars on it, right?
How? How do you go all out for Halloween? I don't even know what that means. What does it mean to go all out for Halloween?
Well, if you want to be the spooky house, yeah, well, I guess it will always cost money to decorate the house in a certain way. But like, you don't have to give out the full-size bars. You
But
don't
that's what
need
he
to
wants
hand
to
out
do.
beer.
Like, I'm
Okay, then he can
that-
spend the money on it, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that's what he's saying. He wants to be seen as like the best house with the full-size candy bars and beer or whatever, and like the giant skeleton. All that costs money. There's no way around it unless you like own a store where you can get it at a discount. Chocolate, I don't know, but like
Maybe he should open like a corn maze, and that could be his new line of work. He could work at like a haunted farm.
okay.
You don't like that?
But just generally speaking, yeah, I feel like this is such an obvious, no, if you want to spend thousands of dollars, why do you expect to just use the joint pool of money that, according to your wife, like you guys have been using because you're trying to keep on, you just moved
Well, but
and
maybe-
the money's tight for the house. So no, what's
Maybe-
more important? Priorities. That's the wife's issue. Is like, why is your priority spending a shitload on Halloween when like money's really tight with our house?
Yeah, I'm only being a tiny bit defensive because I feel like we're a little.
Responsible?
You are very responsible.
And you just want to have fun and blow money.
And I am a tiny bit less responsible than you,
Yeah.
let's say. So
Okay.
I can kind of see myself in a
All
position
right.
of wanting to be the one who like doesn't just want to save money. Sometimes I want to spend it. Sounds like he's swinging way too far in the other direction. And the context of like he just wasted a bunch of discretionary income or spent a bunch of discretionary income on other fun stuff for him that he could have spent on this. Like that's a problem, right? But I understand the,
He wants to have fun.
as a in a partnership, in a relationship, you want to sort of negotiate those sort of I think you want to balance with your partner those sorts of expectations. And to just always say like, well, you're the one who cares about Halloween, you pay for it. You're the one who cares about Christmas, you pay for it. What does that mean? Just the one partner who is slightly less conservative with money is the only one paying for things that are kind of to the benefit of both parties,
I hear you.
if they care about it
but
at
it's
all.
not like she's saying no Halloween or you pay for it. Like she's like, we could do a reasonable Halloween here.
Yeah.
But just not spend an exorbitant amount when we have all these other expenses that are a priority in our joint lives.
Yeah, so maybe they decide what that sort of reasonable compromise amount
Yeah.
to spend on
But
Halloween is.
that
And if he wants to
reasonable-
go beyond that,
That reasonable compromise won't get him what he wants.
No.
Which is to be like the number one house on the block and be the coolest. Like it's just not.
but I guess what I was getting at before, like, there's ways of like getting a reputation as a good Halloween house that isn't just about like spending money on fog
like
machines
scaring
and stuff.
people at
Yeah.
the end of the driveway.
You dress up as a mummy in a rocking chair that people think is just a prop, and you get up and scare kids. I don't know, something like that.
Sure. If that's what makes you happy.
That's
like
what
if
gets
that's what makes you happy. Like I don't know.
It makes me happy.
Anyways, I agree with the wife.
I do too. I wanted to be a little bit
Yeah.
empathetic. Next one. Would I be the asshole if I don't let kids eat candy on Halloween? My cousin's kid is diabetic. We're having a Halloween sleepover this year, and she was invited. My cousin and her daughter are excited, but Kat asked if we would have a rule that no candy gets eaten that night. When Diana leaves in the morning, she'll leave her candy behind, and the kids will have extra candy they can destroy the next day. Destroy. I think this compromise is fair, and we have diabetic snacks for the kids to eat at home that night. I also think waiting one night for their candy in exchange for a ton of extra candy is something the kids will be okay with. It might even be a good lesson on delayed gratification. My wife is strongly against the idea. She said if Diana can't handle watching other people eat candy, they should just go home after trick-or-treating. I think that's mean. My wife said her sister's kid will throw a fit if she doesn't get her candy that night, and there's no way her sister will agree to the plan. I say we ask before we assume. Diana is 5 and sister-in-law is 8, so I think it's fair to expect slightly more maturity from the older children. My wife said we aren't asking her sister because the plan is dumb. I think I'll ask her anyway and take our kids and my sister's kids as well and see how everyone feels, because I think my wife is being a little dramatic. It's just candy, and a little flexibility never hurt anyone.
So wait, I'm just a little confused. They have a rule that no candy gets eaten at night. But what does this have to do with like the diabetic candy?
So
what's the-
yeah, it could be about being diabetic, or like peanut allergy is like a scenario I remember kind of having as a kid with this, because I had a good friend who had a pretty severe peanut allergy. Basically, one family is saying, hey, our kid can't eat that candy. They're going to have to swap it out with like low sugar candy. Or in my example, it would have been like, hey, there's only certain chocolate that's peanut free, right? So what they're asking is once the kids get all back from trick-or-treating, because one child can't eat that candy, they're saying, can we just not have the kids eat any candy that night?
But they don't have a replacement candy?
So this seems like the very obvious solution to this is the kids get back, the kids who can eat that candy eat it, and then you just give the candy for that child to that candy that night.
So why are they holding back for a day?
I do not understand the insistence on making them wait till the next day.
Well, they're saying it might even be a good lesson on delayed gratification. So the parents trying to make a point.
Well, that's kind of stupid, right? That's not the reason. That's the dad.
Not why
that's
kids
the dad trying
candy.
to justify. I just don't understand why there isn't a super obvious solution here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like there is candy that's like low sugar and suitable for diabetics. I see it all the time in Shoppers Drug Mart. Like I know it exists.
Yeah, we've tried some of those.
Just buy it. I understand that it's not regularly given away as Halloween candy by other houses. I get that. Yeah. So if your child's doing it for the experience and they come back with candy they can't eat, you just you got to substitute it.
Yeah. So I don't think that anybody's a jerk here, and that's kind of what Reddit decided. Although I will say, wife is being a little, I think, kind of like harsh in her reaction to it, because it seems like just a simple conversation might be the solve here. And I don't think it hurts to have some empathy or understanding for a kid that's going to be dealing with this, right?
Yeah, I don't think that seems to be an issue, at least not communicated here. Like, people do understand that, but they're just making everyone wait when I don't really know why. They could just give the kid the substitute. They know the kid is diabetic. They could prepare.
Yeah.
They know when Halloween is. Like, I just don't understand what's the holdback.
What if they just feed them all celery and carrots that night?
And the kids will be really happy if you do that.
Was eating candy on Halloween a big deal? Do you remember this? Because I thought it was more about like, look at all this candy I have.
Yeah,
like,
you wanted
not
bragging
eating
rights.
it all right away.
No, definitely did not eat it all right away.
Or if like school was the next day, part of the fun was like bringing into school some of your candy. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember eating some same night, but also we would save our bucket and just like eat from the bucket every day, you know, for the next few weeks until it was done.
Bucket of candy. Next one. Am I the asshole for buying my son a Halloween costume? I'm 34 years old. My husband's 35. We have a 5-year-old son. My husband was raised in a family where boys play with cars and girls with dolls. Son has a huge obsession with unicorns and asked if he could go as a unicorn for Halloween. My husband told him no, and that he would take him shopping for a boy costume. I found a unicorn costume in his size, wrapped the costume up to surprise him, and gave it to him after school, and he immediately went to put it on. My husband looks at me and tells me that I'm trying to change our son to be girly, and I should have bought him a Spider-Man or Superman costume. This incident happened over the weekend, and husband is still fuming over it. Am I the asshole for buying my son a Halloween costume?
Is a unicorn a lady?
Yeah, first of all, is a unicorn even gendered?
I don't think so, you know? I mean, I know it's a stereotype that little girls would play with unicorns, I guess.
I mean, it's a
like,
horse,
not even really.
Horse with a horn.
Yeah.
Kind of badass.
Usually there's like pink stripes. Okay, so like maybe that's the association.
So we're being a little flippant here. Obviously, you and I agree that this is so stupid to even worry about
why is this even a
gender
post on
norms
Reddit,
of costumes.
Sadly. Yeah.
The only thing you could say about the mom is like she knows her husband is like this and she just went behind his back to do it. I guess that's why you could say that's not maybe the best thing to do, but like
but what else are you gonna do if you know, like you
this is based on like this sort of like underlying sexism or insecurity of your husband and the sort of gender norms he's trying to force on his children.
And if your child says, "Oh, I want to be a unicorn," and you want to let them have that, then you just do it. You don't necessarily have to like seek permission from your husband for something like this.
This is, I think, we have trouble relating to this because I know we both sort of grew up in a context where we didn't have parents that sort of forced these ideas on us. Like you were super into race cars and stuff as a little kid.
Yeah, I went through a period where I only asked for like racing track outfits, and I refused to wear the color pink. Like I was like rejecting it as like a 6-year-old.
Yeah.
And I loved lime green. And I got racing track stuff from the boys section because they didn't make those like outfits for little girls. This is like, in the 90s.
Yeah.
And I just remember that was a thing. But,
Yeah, me
it
too.
wasn't that big of a deal. I don't remember either my parents like caring. They're like, cool, whatever.
I remember growing up, like I had cousins that I think one of them was like, can't remember if it was Halloween or just like we were all hanging out having fun, and like one of my boy cousins was like wear dresses, like we were doing like dress up stuff. And I remember I have a very religious grandmother who thought that was a big problem, but like my mom or parents and my aunt, like none of them thought it was a big deal at all. Like no one cared.
Yeah, it's a generational thing.
For us, it is, right? There's clearly still people who think like this.
Right. For us, like, it's usually our grandparents or older who aren't alive anymore, like who would have maybe had these problems with seeing this kind of thing.
Yeah.
But from my memory growing up, I do not recall anyone my parents' age or younger behaving in such a way like this post. But it's like really sad to see. And of course, we are not ignorant that this still is very rampant and extremely sad. I guess we're lucky that we never related to this with our own experience growing up, but it's just so fucking sad that this is still an ongoing experience for young people, for children today.
Yeah. And not just on Halloween.
Yes, good point. Not just on Halloween.
All right. Am I the asshole for not wanting to hold my aunt's baby? To keep this short, my family are all coming together for early Halloween. None of us are going to be in town since my aunt wants to celebrate her kid's birth on Halloween out of town. While we were at the get-together, she was going around buttering people up by complimenting their costumes and then would hint at them to hold her baby so she can take a picture of them. She came up to me. I'm 14. She told me she liked my fit. I was dressed up in a purge outfit, and she told me her baby would look great next to me and asked if she could have a picture. I have nothing against babies, but you have to hold them a certain way so they won't get hurt, and I'm just not good with babies. So I kept my distance. I told her no and explained she can wear my mask and take a picture with the baby, but I can't. She asked me why, and I explained the reason above. She told me I'd be fine and to just hold the baby. We went back and forth for a while until I walked away. She told my mom, and now I'm no longer invited to go with them out of town.
What?
I have to stay with my dad.
What? That escalated so quickly because she didn't want to take a picture with your fucking baby. Now she's not allowed to go with them out of town.
I included this one because I knew Cristine would relate to them. You just have no interest in ever holding a baby.
No, especially not for your photo shoot. Like, what?
Yeah, it is the aunt just being like, hey, my baby would look good
beside your costume.
Was your baby a fucking accessory?
Also, like she's wearing a purge outfit. Like what? Whatever. Okay, that's not the
you look like you're on a murder spree. Can
hold
you
my
hold
baby.
my baby?
Okay, whatever. That's besides the point. But like it's not respectful to expect other people who are not you or like your partner or whoever you had the baby with and agreed to raise the baby with to just like expect them to hold or take care of the baby if they do not want to. You can't just be like, hold my baby, I'm going to take a picture of you. You can't say that. You have to ask, would you like, are you okay with, can I take a picture?
So don't you just think, though, that most people assume that 99% of people are
totally
willing to hold a baby?
Yes, I think most people assume that 99% of people want to hold your baby. They love your baby. They think your baby's really cute. They love listening to your baby scream. I think most people
love
assume.
That, yeah. Baby smells great.
They think your baby is so cute and adorable. Like, yeah.
But yeah, as soon as you're like, no, I'm good. That should just be sort of the end of the conversation.
That's kind of the hint. And don't make them feel bad. Because this is a 14-year-old girl, by the way. Like, that's what it says, 14-year-old
You're right.
female.
That's stranger.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever held a baby? Like, ever?
Once. It was forced upon me.
What was it like?
I did not want it. But, like, here's my issue. I didn't say no, I don't want to hold your baby, because I really felt the social pressure to not be rude.
That's right.
So
If you had said no, they're like, what's wrong with my baby? And you'd
yeah,
have to be like,
exactly.
I hate all babies.
No, it's just like, listen, like this poster who's 14, even though I'm 33, I'm not comfortable holding babies, and I don't like have a history of holding babies. So I also feel kind of weird just like holding your baby. And I don't want to hold your baby. Respectfully, I do not want to. So if someone asks me like, oh, here, hold it, they're just like throwing it at me, basically shoving it in my face. I feel really bad to say no. So my personality type is just to like let it be forced upon me, but just be incredibly uncomfortable until they like take the baby back.
You should just tell them I've never held a baby. And then they would be like, this 30-year-old lady has never held a baby. Like, I don't want to be the first.
No,
I don't want to be the first one.
I think they would love to take that opportunity to teach me or some shit. They'd be like, oh, let me show you. It's so easy. You'll love my baby or something. And I'll be like, oh my God, I want to die. I want to leave. So like, that's my problem. What do I do? Because I don't want to be an asshole. Am I the asshole if I say I don't want to hold your baby?
Yeah, but like, I mean, how often does this come up?
Like once in my life. Like, no, that's not true. It's come up more than that. But yeah, I just remember.
You just gotta like sort of
more
navigate the room. Always keep a
Yeah.
10-foot distance from the baby.
So that's the strategy, but sometimes you're put in that situation where like it's literally the baby's literally being pushed in your face and it's like hold it, and you feel really bad if you don't, because it's like socially deviant of people not to want to hold and like be like, oh, I love your baby. So I feel like an alien in the room, but I don't want to be rude to the normal people.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I have to humor them and just kind of awkwardly let them put the baby in my arms and then just like hold it without moving or doing anything. And then I'm just like, when is this over? When is this over? When is this over?
Speaking of being socially deviant, have you ever stolen candy from a baby?
Do babies have candy?
Yeah, you know how sometimes they say it's as easy as stealing candy from a baby?
Yes, that would be easy, theoretically.
Yeah, you'd think it would be easy, but babies like candy, so they at least keep like grasping for it. They don't want you to take it. And you know what's even easier than stealing candy from a baby?
What's that, Ben?
Starting your own business with Shopify.
Damn.
And today's episode is brought to you by Shopify. Shopify offers an easy-to-use all-in-one commerce platform that lets people start, grow, and manage their own business. And Shopify has helped millions of businesses grow worldwide. Basically, every business owner we know uses Shopify. Shopify supports businesses along the entire journey from first sale to full scale. They give entrepreneurs the resources reserved for big businesses. So if you're just starting out and you just want to bring an idea to life, or you're a business like Holo Taco with thousands of returning customers and a huge catalog of products, Shopify makes it easy. We've been using Shopify since Holo Taco first launched in 2019, and it's been consistently reliable and beneficial to our business from that very first launch in 2019, and as we've grown and scaled up the brand to where it is today. So if you're looking to start your own business, please check out Shopify and use the link shopify.com/simplynailogical and start your business today. Again, that is shopify.com/simplynailogical.
Woo! Thank you, sponsor.
All right, next one. Am I the asshole for giving candy to a child? So like the opposite
of taking it away.
stealing
Okay,
candy from a baby.
Let's hear this one.
So I'm a 25-year-old lady. I recently started in a workplace that has weekly dance sessions for friends and family to promote fitness. I've been regularly attending them along with other colleagues. One of the other colleagues recently started attending these with her husband and child, who is 3 years old. I did not know her before, but her child is adorable. I want to hold the child. And we all really enjoy the presence of the child and play silly games with the child.
You are a normal person poster.
Today, I brought a candy bar for this 3-year-old during the session break. And I went to my colleague and said, hey, I brought them a candy bar. I hope you don't mind if I give it to them. She said that she did not encourage her son to eat candy, and it's not the best idea to give it to him. I understood and respected the choice and left. The boy was with them and heard our conversation. After that, I could hear him throw a fit that he wants the candy. He started crying very loudly, and my colleague and her husband took him and left. Now she's telling everyone that I made him cry, and this is my fault. Am I the asshole?
The child is 3 years old, and you want to give a chocolate candy. I don't know. How old do kids have to be to eat?
It's kind of weird to give a full-size candy bar
To
to
a
a
3-year-old,
three-year-old.
right?
How big's a 3-year-old? Are they like
Are they 40
pounds? Something like that?
I don't know. Can they handle like an entire chocolate bar?
Can they handle it?
Can they even
I think
open it
they-
themselves? If the kid can't even
No,
figure
they're
out how to
basic-
open the
they're-
wrapper.
They're useless. They can't do anything.
I just like don't understand.
It's well, here's the thing. I was going to say it's presumptuous to like give a 3-year-old a candy bar, but she wasn't presumptuous. She asked the parents. Probably shouldn't have asked the parents in front of the child if the child's old enough to understand what's
Are
happening
you old
here.
enough to understand when you're 3?
I don't really think so. Well, yeah,
maybe
you
you're
probably
just screaming.
recognize
You're just
candy. You're just
You're
screaming.
just being annoying. You're like, yeah, I want it. Yeah.
Yeah, is that what a baby sounds like? This doesn't seem like a big deal at all, though. Weird that the parents are now going around besmirching the
Yeah,
character
they're like, it's your fault.
of their colleague, as if
Like-
like this one little crying incident is some big deal.
Well, it says like he had never cried before.
Oh yeah, a 3-year-old
started
has
crying.
never cried.
Yeah.
ever.
He's never cried before. And then the poster made him cry by like having a candy bar and then being like, oops, never mind. And then the 3-year-old cried for the first time that day.
Maybe maybe the parents are just like those people that never give their kids candy.
Okay, but you're 3. Can you even eat candy when you're 3? I don't know. Ask a pediatrician.
But do you remember, like, I remember being in maybe like the first grade.
That's like 6 years old.
Yeah.
Not 3.
Yeah. But I remember there was always like, I feel like a lot of people can relate to this. There was like the one person in class who,
Wasn't
when they went
allowed.
home, they didn't have a television they could watch, or like they didn't have TV, or it was something like that, right?
Yeah.
And there's a point at which like they're being so alienated from the way all their other kids in their social group live that it's
That it
That
feels
it-
like torture for that child
would
to
think so,
exist
right?
in that social system where their friends have access to things and they don't. And then it makes that child rebel against their parents.
Yeah.
So don't do that.
so you're just sitting up this 3-year-old to rebel.
Well, I don't know if it's
They're
normal.
gonna go to the
for-
Hershey's factory.
For most 3-year-olds to have access to candy bars. Like I actually just don't know. I'd have to
Access to-
I'd have to fact check that if that's like realistic that most 3-year-olds are eating candy bars. I don't know.
Please help us understand down below. If you give a 3-year-old chocolate bars.
Don't worry, I won't give your 3-year-old chocolate bar. I won't even hold your 3-year-old. Can you hold a 3-year-old? It's like really big, right?
Can you hold a 3-year-old? I mean, you could hold a 30-year-old, Christine. You could
Yeah, but
pick
like
me up
that-
and walk around.
Okay, but not easily. You know what I mean?
Wait,
Not like
okay.
easy to pose for a
Wait,
picture.
this is another good. I think people like this since we have like no understanding of babies or children.
Just cats.
What is an age at which it is strange to hold a child?
But like hold for what reason? Just to like
But like, it's normal to
them
hold a
up?
baby because they're not even mobile, right?
oh,
But
so
even when a baby, with like a toddler
toddler.
is starting to waddle around, like they can barely move their legs, like you might still just pick them up and hold them.
yeah, because you
But
need
when
to
a
move
kid's
them
like
places.
4 or 5
Or six, and walking to
or
kindergarten.
7 or 13, 16,
Okay, no,
at
stop,
what
stop.
point do you stop carrying the child around?
Okay, well, I thought that carrying the child was a tool because the child could not walk or move around quickly or at all
Yes.
themselves. So it's
So it's
basically
dependent on the mobility of the child.
It's dependent on the mobility, which isn't always about age, I would think, right?
I like how our spooky episode has turned into our ignorance of anything related to children.
And I'm gonna get like 800 comments below
scariest thing of
educating me.
all.
Actually, it's the developmental milestones. Blah 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 blah. I don't know. Whatever.
All right. Am I the asshole for not sharing my candy with my husband? Last one, Chris. This is stupid and lighthearted, but I wanted to know, am I the asshole? I'm a 45-year-old woman traveling with my husband, who's 47. I love him something fierce. We've been married for 13 years. Christine, do you love me something fierce?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
But I keep the candy.
I recently stopped drinking alcohol, but I developed a crazy craving for sugar, and my main go-to is Skittles. I love them, so he makes fun of me for it, but it's all good. I bought a bag, and my husband asked me to share some, so I did. He poured some in his hand and proceeded to put them all in his mouth at the same time and started chewing. I looked at him and gasped, and I'm like, "What, babe?" I told him that it was so disrespectful. You don't just throw them all in your mouth. You separate them by color first.
What?
He looked at me like I was crazy. So I asked him if he did this with M&Ms too. And he said yes. I took my bag of Skittles back and he refused. And I refused to give him more. He says, I'm the jerk. But I don't think I am. I still love him. But I'm not sharing my candy with him anymore. Am I the asshole?
This is something that happens and you're mad for like 2 seconds and then like you forget about it.
What? Are you mad for 2 seconds?
Or you're annoyed. Sorry, mad's the wrong word. You're like annoyed for 2 seconds and then you like forget it ever happened.
Look, I'm so happy for people who get sort of enjoyment out of
Skittles.
having these sort of rituals of like, I'm gonna eat the blue Smarties first, or like, that's totally cool for you. But trying to force that belief system onto other people, and that being the contingency upon which you are willing to give them candy or not, I think you need to sort of evaluate how you're trying to force your rigid belief system in eating candy onto other people.
Right. It's like how you don't force me to watch hockey with you.
Yes, it's exactly like that. No, but like let's ground it in food.
Okay.
You like eating your food a certain way. You put it in a bowl, you mix it all together.
Yeah.
That's fine. I'm happy for you. That's the way you like eating.
I love my garbage bowls.
But if I was like, hey, Christine, can I have some of that dish you made? And you were like, I will only let you eat it if you put it in a blender and mix it all together.
Okay, well, I don't do that. You're making sense.
But you know what I mean? Like, why would you care how I want to enjoy that food?
I don't care. You can eat a plate.
You can eat a plate?
You can eat on a plate if you want, but I will be eating from a bowl. And we can coexist.
We can coexist.
Yeah. Isn't that amazing?
Christine,
Benji?
I love you something fierce.
Anyways, I feel like this lady just had a moment of like frustration and wanted to share with the internet. But I also feel like she should probably just forget this happened the next day. Like, it's not that important.
Do you think it's coming from a good place? Like, she just knows how amazing it is to eat Skittles the way she does.
So she wants
she's just
other
like,
people to
mostly
understand.
just offended that he doesn't want to participate in how amazing that is.
Yeah, but that's just like lacking perspective because you only see it through your lens of like with such specificity that Skittles must be consumed this way, and like ignoring that like other people are like, no, they don't. Like, you can still enjoy the Skittles without separating them.
Do you have any food you eat like this?
I put everything together, so I'm the opposite.
So we've
of
already
this.
exposed you for the bowl thing. I'm trying to think if there's anything that I eat where it's like
You have to separate it.
it's a
Hummus.
specific order.
Well, you eat hummus with a spoon. That's kind of weird.
Sometimes.
No, every day. Sometimes.
There's usually some pita involved.
Yes, true. Okay. Yes.
But it's
good
not
point.
like I'm like I hand peel the chickpea skins. That's kind of neurotic about food. But
Do you like peeling them?
No.
What?
It's annoying.
Why not?
Well,
You should enjoy the joys of peeling things.
It's about the destination, not
I'm
the
so
journey.
offended that you don't enjoy the process of peeling the chickpeas.
I don't think I eat anything where I'm like, I have to eat this in this order or this color.
No.
No.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Okay.
Speaking of candy,
Do you want to do a little candy game?
yeah.
Want to play a candy game with me?
Can we rank the candies?
Yeah, so
Chocolates.
We want to end the episode with a little fun game of a candy draft, Christine. Now, Christine doesn't know what a draft is. She just knows where...
When he said we're doing a candy draft, I was like, oh, so it's like those maps where you have 2 against 2 and then who's the winner.
So
and
Christine
then
thinks I'm introducing Christine to sports concepts through candy. So that would be like a bracket challenge where you would just be trying to pit like 2 candies against each other until you only have 2 final candies.
Is that like the playoffs?
Yeah, it's like a playoff.
Okay, that's see, I understand.
Yeah, so that's like a bracket. And that would result in us having like 1 final candy. Today,
Yes.
I want to teach you more along the lines of a draft. So maybe you're in a sports league at the beginning of the year and you want to pick a team of players and you'll compete with your friends for like which players were better by the end of the year.
So is it like a work in progress and you go through training like it's a draft?
No, so a draft is like, okay,
Like-
here. Well, we're going to do this in a really simple way.
Guys, I don't watch sports.
I have like,
A draft, meaning it's not final.
okay, we have
Do
like,
not share the draft.
we have like 30 Halloween candies options in front of us. You know, you've got the arrows, you got peanut butter cups, you got fuzzy peaches, you got Starburst. We got all these candies. We're each going to take turns picking one. You're going to draft one candy at a time.
Oh, it's like when you pick teams for volleyball.
We're
in grade
picking
8.
teams for sports, yes.
I remember this. I was always last.
Okay, and by the end, we're each going to have our team of a bunch of different candies.
So we're the captains.
We are the captains of the team. And then people are going to decide who came up with the better, candy team, okay?
So they'll have to vote down below. Okay.
Yes, so you can go first.
Can I go first? Why do I get to go first? How do they decide who goes first?
Maybe we'll flip heads or tails, or whoever did better last year.
Menchie heads or tails? Menchie's head or Menchie's tail?
Whoever Menchie meows at first goes first. Menchie. Meow.
She's not in a meowing
She's
mood.
not in a meowing mood. Okay, you go first.
Okay.
I'll let you go
damn,
first.
Oh, damn.
Because
Oh,
you've
damn.
less experience.
Oh, damn. Oh, damn.
Like, you didn't bring any notes. You didn't make any. You don't have any draft strategy here.
Oh, Reese's.
Oh, how
Starting that strong.
Okay, Cristine got the best off the board. That's a good first overall
We're gonna
pick.
win, team. We're gonna win this Halloween.
Oh, wait, just because you did that, I have to take at least Reese's Pieces off the board. That's my first
those
pick.
are garbage anyways. They can get fucked.
Okay, your next pick, Cristine.
Fuzzy Peaches.
Okay, Cristine's starting strong.
Yeah,
She's
got
got the
him.
Fuzzy Peaches. Okay. I'm going to go with Coffee Crisp.
Ew, coffee is lame. We didn't want coffee on our team anyways because we would prefer tea.
Okay.
Hershey's Cookies and Cream.
Okay, I'll let you have that one.
Guys, we're winning. We're already winning.
You're going
Your
pretty.
team is
You're going
disgusting.
Hershey's. You're going to Hershey's strong. I'm going to go for Canadian Smarties. I'm trying to cater to the nut-free crowd as well.
I don't care about them. I mean Smarties, not the crowd. Oh my god, I don't care about Smarties. You can have them. Okay, Skittles, bitch. Give me the Skittles.
You're taking Skittles?
Yeah.
I hate Skittles. But in response, I'm taking Strawberry Starburst.
Okay, who cares?
They've split out the Strawburst. So I got the best one.
Starburst is irrelevant. Like, it had its moment in 2009. I don't know. But, like, no one cares about Starburst anymore. So you can have your old team.
Okay.
I'm going to take...
This is very difficult.
This is getting tricky.
There's still a lot left to go.
Tricky. There's a lot. Okay, I'm gonna take a ring pop.
A ring
The
pop?
fucking ring pop.
Oh
Yeah.
my god,
Oh
bad
my God.
choice.
No,
that's like a last round pick.
Yeah, but it lasts the longest of all these candies because you could suck on that for hours. So I want that on my team. You know, we got to think long term for our candies.
All right, I am going with some peanut M&Ms, the superior M&M.
Okay, the stupidest candy.
You just took a ring pop.
Yo, I love ring pop. Okay, Arrow.
Okay, Christine's going to Arrow.
I love Arrow. Give me those
the
bubbles.
It's like air.
Yeah, but it's so
It's half
good.
chocolate, half air. It's like half a chocolate bar.
Okay, no, but that's not true. The density is still indicated in the grams, which are sufficient.
Okay. I'm going with Wonder Bar because I just need more peanut butter representation.
This is the first time I'm jealous of your pick. The other ones, don't care about them.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna go for Swedish berries.
Damn it, that was
Yes,
my next
give me
pick.
some international Swedes on my team. Let's go.
Man, so I don't have anything gummy. All the gummies are gone.
You can have gum. Why don't you pick some gum?
I could have gum. We
Double
do
bubble.
have sour Skittles. I'm going for that.
That's a gimmick.
Getting some sour Skittles. They're better than normal Skittles.
I'll take
Normal
pop.
Skittles suck.
I want Pop Rocks. I'm getting some classic
Pop
Some
Rocks?
classic players. Yeah, far left.
Where even is? Oh,
Classic players on my team.
That is pretty
they'll-
classic.
They make your mouth feel like it's sparkling.
is that a good thing?
Yeah.
Do they still sell these?
Yeah.
Oh, we still have Nibs, Twizzlers. Okay, that's the only sort of soft, chewy candy I have. Ben's got Nibs. I'm in the Nib Club.
All right. I'm taking Twix.
You taking
Give
Twix?
me Twix. I like their commercials
You can have them.
where they have the left Twix and the right Twix.
Oh,
I get both.
I just noticed there are still gummies here. I am going to take sour cherry blasters.
You have 2 sours there.
I do. But people
right.
like sour.
Sure.
Need some sweet and sour.
I'm going to take Twizzlers. You have Nibs, I got Twizzlers. Mine are longer and stronger than yours. You have
Okay.
little baby Twizzlers.
I'm going all in on sour. I'm getting Sour Patch Kids.
Okay, I'm going to take American Rockets.
You're getting Rockets?
Yeah, because as much as we call
What Americans call Smarties?
Sorry, Americans call them Smarties and Canadians call them Rockets.
Yes.
So I'm going to represent Canada.
So they actually, I think
they have the same thing, yeah.
I have Rockets too, so it's basically redundant.
No. But now you have two players called Smarties, but they're not the same. That seems pretty inconsistent on your team there.
Maybe a little bit. All right, next pick, Cristine.
I'll take Crispy Crunch.
Crispy Crunch is going to Simply?
Yeah, give me that Cadbury.
Okay, I'm taking Caramel.
Oh, fuck you, man. Fuck you. All right, I'll take Kit Kat.
Okay. You're getting some
break.
Nestle in there.
Give me a break.
I am taking O. Henry.
Oh, Henry. I'll take the Tootsie Pop. Not the Tootsie Roll, the Tootsie Pop.
Tootsie Pop.
Oh, yeah, give me that sucker.
You like the suckers, eh?
Yeah, it's smart. So you got to think strategy on your team.
Okay, I am going to take Swedish Fish.
That's so inferior to Swedish berries. Like, what is this? Swedish? Menchie,
they basically
move.
rule each other
Menchie's
out.
in the way of the draft.
Benji, we can't see.
Menchie, don't worry, I pick you. Okay, I'll take a Snickers. Hungry? Grab a Snickers.
You're in a bad mood? You're not acting yourself. Have a Snickers. I will take a Crunch Bar.
Ugh. There's like rice in there or whatever. I'll take Three Musketeers.
Three Musketeers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like mousse
What
on
are
the
you
inside.
doing? No one likes Three Musketeers.
Sure they do.
I will take Mr. Bigger Mars. Mr. Bigger Mars. What do people like more? I already have O. Henry, so Mars Bar.
I'll take the regular M&Ms.
Regular M&Ms.
Yeah, you gotta have the regular M&Ms, not those peanut ones.
All right, so I get Mr. Big too.
I'll take the red Starburst.
Cristine gets red Starburst. I take just Hershey's chocolate.
It's boring. There's nothing to it. I want Popeye's candy sticks.
Cristine gets the Popeyes candy sticks that look like cigarettes.
When I was a kid, we used to pretend they were.
Harmful stereotypes on Cristine's team. Don't want to vote for that. So I will take our double bubble gum.
Who wants gum? Then you can't eat other candy if you're busy eating gum. Like, it's so stupid. Okay, I'll take the Tootsie Roll.
Cristine's taking Tootsie Roll, the worst Halloween candy of all time.
I'd still eat them.
I am going to take the yellow Starburst.
Okay.
And last pick.
Give me the orange Starburst for Halloween.
There's nothing to choose. That's the only thing
I
left.
want the orange Starburst. Okay, all right.
All right,
well,
so
look at that.
We will put up a visual aid for anyone watching this, but I'm going to read off the teams now, okay?
Okay.
So Cristine has Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, Fuzzy Peaches, Hershey's Cookies and Cream, Skittles, Ring Pop, Aero, Swedish Berries, Pop Rocks, Twix, Twizzlers, Rockets, Crispy Crunch, Kit Kat, Tootsie Pop, Snickers, Three Musketeers, M&M's, Strawberry Starburst, Popeye Tasty Candy Sticks.
No, it's Cherry Starburst.
Cherry Starburst, sorry, Tootsie Rolls, and Orange Starburst. Mm-hmm. And Ben has Reese's Pieces, Coffee Crisp, Smarties, Strawberry Starburst, Peanut M&M's, Wonder Bar, Sour Skittles, Twizzler Nibs, Maynard's Sour Cherry Blasters, Sour Patch Kids, American Smarties, Caramilk, O. Henry, Swedish Fish, Crunch, Mars, Mr. Big, Hershey's Chocolate, Double Bubble Gum, and Lemon Starburst. Whose team wins?
So, yeah. If I'm shopping for Halloween candy and I had to pick, I can only buy like Cristine's bundle or Ben's bundle.
Yes, that is what we're...
Yeah, which bundle would you buy? I would buy Cristine's bundle.
Well, yeah, but you picked your bundle.
Okay, yeah, I guess so. Shut up.
You did take the best candy off the board first. Peanut Butter Cups.
Yeah, but
instantly probably
all
make your
my
team
others are really good too. Like, you can't deny.
I think otherwise I probably prefer my team.
So what happens in a sports draft after this is done? It's done. There's no like appeals.
Well, usually like if these chocolate bars are athletes, they're like putting a ball in a hoop or putting a puck in a net.
Because these are people that you're drafting.
Sports drafts are a little weird because like you're drafting people.
Can the player appeal?
Appeal to what?
Appeal the choice.
Appeal to
appeal
fans
this verdict.
in their basement having fantasy.
No, appeal to the draft ombudsman or whatever. Like appeal to the court of the
these
draft.
are pretty unofficial processes, Christine.
Oh, they are? But like you're basically saying this player is mine under my team, but what if the player wants to appeal and be like, I don't want to be on this team?
I mean, that's an interesting question when it comes to actually being picked by a team.
Yeah.
But we're talking about like 40-year-old football fans in their basement just playing games. You know what I mean? You really don't understand the concept of a draft, do you?
I thought this was like the captains picking their teams. No? That's what you said.
No,
like
this
10
is like
minutes ago.
people like you and me.
Oh, like
just
just
having
guessing
fun.
who's gonna win?
Yeah.
You're like making teams that don't exist.
Well, like in sports, there's a real draft where it's like billionaire owners of teams.
That's what I was thinking.
Get to pick young players to be on their
Is
team.
that not what we were talking
Yeah,
about?
but like in fantasy sports, where it's just like people like me gambling or betting on sports or just having fun.
Are you gambling? Ben, this is gambling? Wait, how do you make money? By like picking who's on what
First
team
you
that doesn't
pick
exist?
the candy, then you sell the candy.
Okay, how do we make money off of this
We
draft?
don't make money.
We don't
on
make
it.
any money.
Well, people are watching this. We'll make a little bit of money that way.
How about we got sponsored on this episode? So thanks again to Shopify for sponsoring this episode.
Is sponsoring this candy draft. All right, yeah.
All right.
Thank you to Shopify again. Thank you, Simply. Please vote down below.
Whose draft is better? Whose draft would you eat?
What candy team do you prefer?
Yeah, definitely mine. And I hope
biased.
everyone has a happy Halloween and be safe, be smart, have fun, eat good candy, and get it on sale the next day if you can. Always. Any
thanks.
other advice?
No more advice.
No more advice. All right, everyone. Hope you have a fantastic Taco Tuesday, and we'll see y'all next time.
Bye.
Boo.